I'm Meenakshi from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. Today we are going to see about the topic OSI Security Architecture. OSI Security Architecture, which comprises security attacks, services and mechanisms. Security attack. So what is an attack? Attack is any action which compromises the security of the information which is owned by some organization. So we can generally classify the security attacks into two types. One is passive attack, the other one is active attack. So what is passive attack means? Here the intruder or the opponent won't alter the message. They just read the content of the message, and it is otherwise called as eavesdropping. Since the message is not modified by the opponent, it is very difficult to detect the passive attacks. Further, the passive attacks are classified into two types. One is release of message content and the other one is traffic analysis. So release of message content is nothing but overhearing a telephone conversation, or getting an email message. So just we are getting the information, just we are reading the information. The content is released to the opponent. It is known as a release of message content. The second one is traffic analysis. So traffic analysis, which means that the opponent can predict what type of traffic is going between the sender and the receiver. They can analyze with the pattern of the message, so which is called as the traffic analysis. So as I already told, passive attacks are very difficult to detect because the messages are not at all modified by the intruders or the opponents. At the same time, the second type of attack is active attack. So here the messages are modified, or the messages are created by the attackers or the opponents or the intruders. You can categorize the active attacks into four categories: modification of messages, replay attack, masquerade attack, denial of service attack. So it is easy to detect but difficult to prevent the active attacks. So first one is modification of message. So as shown in the figure, Bob sent a secret message to Alice, but the message is obtained by the intruder Darth, and he modifies the message. He sent the modified message to Alice. This is called modification of messages. Replay attack. So it is nothing but capturing the data and replaying the original data after some time to produce an unauthorized effect. For example, at time 10 o'clock, I am sending meet me at 10 p.m. So the same message is captured by the opponent and it is replayed on next day. It is known as the replay attack. So here the Bob sent a secret message to Alice, but the intruder Darth obtains the message and he captures the message, and after some time he replays the message to Alice. It confuses Alice and she thinks that this is the message now obtained from Bob. Then third one is masquerade. So that is one entity acts as another entity. So usually the communication takes place between the Bob and Alice. But what the intruder is doing means he gets the identity of Bob and he sent a message to Alice like Bob. So it is called masquerade. And the final one is denial of service. So denial of service, as the name implies, the service is denied to the legitimate user. So for example, by sending unwanted packets in the network, you can make a congestion on the network, thus the actual legal packets are dropped. So thus the service is denied to the client. So this is one example for denial of service attack. So like this, Bob and Alice Bob gets the service from the server, but what the intruder is doing means he disturbs the service. So he stops the service. So this is one example for active attack. So that's about security attacks. Then we move on to security services, which are mentioned in the standard X.800. Authentication. So authentication is nothing but we are assuring that the communicating entity is the right one. Access control. So that is we are giving a control of access to the legitimate users such that we can prevent the unauthorized users from accessing the resources illegally. Data confidentiality. Protecting the data from the unauthorized users. Data integrity. Assuring the data received is as same as the data which is sent by the sender. Non-repudiation. Protection against denial by one of the parties in a communication. That is, after getting the data, the receiver may say that I didn't get the message from Alice, I didn't get the message from Bob, like that. Okay, so in order to stop that, we are giving a security service non-repudiation, like a registered post. And finally, we have security mechanism. So some of the security mechanisms are encipherments, digital signature, access control, data integrity. And pervasive security mechanisms. Under this category, we have trusted functionality, security label, security audit trail, etc. So with this, I am concluding today's topic, OSI Security Architecture. Thank you all.